While police officers are usually tasked with handling real-world crimes, there have been cases where they encountered events that defy logical explanation. Some of these incidents were recorded in official police reports, making them even more intriguing. Here are some of the most unsettling cases involving law enforcement and the supernatural. The Haunted House in St. Louis, USA, 1980s. The incident. In the 1980s, the St. Louis Police Department received multiple distress calls from a terrified family claiming that an invisible force was tormenting them inside their home. They reported objects moving on their own, plates flying off shelves, and eerie noises echoing through the house. Skeptical, but obligated to respond, officers arrived at the residence. To their shock, they witnessed something they could not explain. A chair levitated and flipped over right in front of them. A heavy wooden table slid across the floor without any apparent force. Investigation and theories. After documenting their experience, the police searched the house, looking for signs of hoaxes or trickery, but found no hidden wires, magnets, or human involvement. With no rational explanation, the case remained unsolved. Later, paranormal investigators discovered that the family had recently used a Ouija board, leading to speculation that they may have accidentally invited a poltergeist into their home. The house was eventually abandoned, and its new owners reported no further disturbances. The ghostly voice on a police radio. Manchester, England, 2014. The incident. In 2014, officers at a police station in Manchester experienced a chilling and unexplained event. Late one night, while on routine patrol, a voice suddenly crackled through their radios, urgently asking for help. Confused, the officers responded, but there was no one on the other end. When they checked their dispatch records, they found that no emergency call had been placed at that time. However, the voice continued to break through on different radio frequencies, whispering unintelligible words and occasionally repeating, "Help me." Investigation and theories. Technicians were called in to check for frequency interference or equipment malfunctions, but they found nothing unusual. The eerie part? The police station had been built on the site of an old morgue, fueling theories that a spirit was attempting to make contact. Some officers refused to work night shifts alone after the incident, and the ghostly voice was never heard again. The Enfield Poltergeist Case, London, 1977. The incident. One of the most famous supernatural cases ever recorded by police took place in Enfield, England in 1977. A mother, Peggy Hodgson, called the police in a panic, claiming that furniture in her home was moving on its own and that her daughters were being attacked by an unseen force. When police officers arrived, they were skeptical until a wooden chair slid across the floor right in front of them without anyone touching it. Officer Carolyn Heaps included this event in her official police report, stating that she saw an object move entirely on its own. Investigation and theories. Journalists, paranormal investigators, and scientists examined the case, with some believing it was one of the strongest poltergeist hauntings ever documented. The two young daughters, Janet and Margaret, were observed levitating, speaking in eerie voices, and being thrown across the room by an invisible force. Some skeptics later claimed the girls faked part of the activity, but multiple independent witnesses, including police officers, stood by their claims. This case later inspired the horror movie The Conjuring 2. The disappearance of Officer Gomez, Argentina, 2006. The incident. In 2006, Argentine police officer Gomez was on a routine night patrol in a rural area when he vanished without a trace. His fellow officers launched an immediate search, but found no sign of him. After 3 days, Gomez suddenly reappeared over 10 miles away from where he had disappeared, disoriented, dehydrated, and claiming he had been taken by a glowing entity. Investigation and theories. Gomez recalled that while driving, a bright light engulfed his patrol car, and he lost consciousness. When he woke up, he was lying in a completely unfamiliar location. His uniform was torn, and he had unexplained scratches on his body. Medical tests confirmed significant weight loss and dehydration, consistent with someone who had been missing for days without food or water. His memory of the event remained fragmented, but local residents claimed they had seen strange lights in the sky that night. Many believe this could be an abduction case linked to UFO phenomena, while others suspect a psychological episode. However, the unexplained injuries and the missing time make this case particularly eerie. The phone call from the dead. Colombia, 2018. The incident. In 2018, the police emergency line in Bogotá, Colombia, received a distressed phone call from a woman claiming an intruder was in her home. Officers rushed to the address, but when they arrived, the house was completely empty. Confused, they called the number back. To their shock, the phone company informed them that the number had been disconnected for over 3 years. Investigation and theories. Upon further inquiry, they discovered that the last person to own that phone number had died 3 years earlier in that very house. The official police logs recorded the call, but the mystery of how it happened remains unsolved. Locals claim the spirit of the woman was still trying to call for help, unaware that she had already passed away. These eerie cases show that even those trained to handle logical, real-world investigations sometimes encounter the unexplainable. Whether these events were caused by paranormal forces, psychological phenomena, or something we don't yet understand, they remain chilling examples of mysteries that defy conventional reasoning. If you liked the video, put a like and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you have true mystical stories that happened to you, send them and I will publish them.